We have blankets donated by Laura. You want to show us Laura's blankets there, Elijah? Jenny Gage from Life Take Two, also Second Herald of the Church of Korahor, posted on the Mormon Stories podcast Facebook page that we were gathering out blankets, and this woman, Laura, said, I have them. Like more than half of the blankets that we have distributed so far were gathered by this woman, Laura, who is really connected to the work. Thank you, Laura. Now we are here at City Creek Mall. We've decided to use the Mormons charity, their tithing dollars, to put blankets around people who are cold. Let's go do the work.
Like Korahor, I was lost and alone. Like Korahor, cast far from home. Like Korahor, they stole my voice. Like Korahor, left without a choice. But unlike Korahor, I can speak again. Unlike Korahor, I have a friend. In my darkest hour, my hope was renewed. Because unlike Korahor, I had you. Like Korahor, you helped me to see. Like Korahor, you lit the path for me. Because of you, I'm not without a home. Because of you, I'll never walk alone.
Hello. We are live. I want to thank you people here in the present and in the future, which is what the present is technically. It's also the past when you think about it. Depends on where you're experiencing it or if you're experiencing it. Anyway, let's talk about Reclaim. And then we will get a chance for everybody to experience it for yourselves. There is a link down in the description. If you would like to share with us some of your trauma in leaving Mormonism, you are welcome to hop up in the box. I will put the StreamYard link also into the chat. People who wander in will be able to come in if they so choose. You don't have to have a candle or anything else prepared for tonight. Tonight, we are talking about Reclaim. On Saturday, this first Saturday, and the subsequent, I think so far we have scheduled 5 Saturdays. We're going to, at 7 p.m., have this recurring meeting. So we're looking for people to join us. So basically the Reclaim is like this. Let me share my screen, and I'll show you the link that is in your description box here. Very simple. You goes to korahor.org/reclaim. Or here, let me show you how you navigate to it. Let me share. Allow me to share. Entire screen. Sure. Yes. Share. Okay. All right. Now, got it. This is korahor.org at current. You're going to notice if you scroll down, the second box from the top is this section that says Reclaim Your Life from Spiritual Trauma. Describes a little bit about a claim. But you want to click on the button because you want to go to the actual Reclaim, which is at korahor.org/reclaim. And as I described earlier this week in my regular Godless sermon, every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. so far, a communal right to support one another and create lasting friendships while releasing the toxicity of high control groups. The rite is performed by expressing in a community of friends one way in which your high control group has hold over your life and writing it down on a sacrificial slip of paper, then symbolically destroy it, committing to live free of that group's toxic control. Our reclaims are free, RSVP only events that are open to all and are never recorded. That's why tonight's meeting is not a reclaim, because, of course, this is recorded. It's broadcast to the whole world. What happens is we have a Zoom call that you will commit to when you click on one of our events. You will get an email with the link to the call, and you'll also, as if I'm not mistaken, you're also going to be able to, from that same email, click on the necessary buttons if you have Zoom on your device to insert it into your calendar, your Google Calendar, your Outlook, whatever you use, and then you will have that meeting on your schedule. Like I said, it's free, doesn't cost anything. Of course, there is a link on the page for those people who want to help us get the word out about Reclaim so we can continue to build community. But you can also just copy this URL, go and take it into your Facebook, your YouTube channel, your Instagram, and share it with the whole world. And so you will click on one of these buttons. So you find a date that you like. Let's say it's Saturday. Takes you to a page. You RSVP. Give us your name, your email address. Tell us if you're bringing a +1. If you are, put down their name so we know them. Because what's going to happen is the meeting, it's not quite like an MLM meeting. An MLM meeting, they set a guard at the door so that you don't get out. It's the reverse of that. We're going to have a guard at the door, if you will, who is namely the host of the meeting, makes sure nobody wanders in who isn't RSVP'd or a +1 or vouched for by somebody attending the meeting or somebody known to the host. Because what happens is that inside these meetings, people will say some pretty intimate and sensitive things. And we don't need to be broadcasting that to the whole world, obviously. But, if you can feel comfortable sharing it with a group of other people who maybe are Mormons who are deconstructing like you, or ex-Mormons like me who want to support people who are still deconstructing by just hearing you out and listening to what you have to say, right? And so you can add a comment if you like. You hit next when you're done with that, and you will be registered for the event. Right now, we're doing them on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then it goes like this when you're actually in. And again, welcome to hop in the box if you want, guys. But I showed how to do this on our Sunday live stream. Did I bring a lighter today? I don't think I brought a lighter. So we'll visualize that part. Just visualize that part. I got a lighter in here. Got the great sweatpants on. Don't judge me. I posted on Facebook. I don't have a lighter in here. Oh, I must. Are you kidding me? How do I make my whole office a fire hazard without a lighter? My studio is such a mess. Anyway, you get the idea. So, you can, if you so choose, bring a candle like this cheapy little Walmart thing. You light it. You don't have to. You afraid of fire? Fire bad. Friends good. The point is not the burning of the trauma. The point is building a community. That's the point. It's to be a sacred right to you and to all of us to say we as a community are choosing to let go of the traumatic controls of a high control religion like Mormonism. Yes, one might even go so far as to say a cult. I have many times. But if that's not where you are, that's okay. If you're not an atheist like me, if you're not godless like those of us of the Church of Korihor, that's okay. If you believe in God, you still believe in Jesus, you still believe in the Bible, that's okay. You still believe in the Book of Mormon, that's also okay. It is an open environment for you to come into a group where everybody makes the commitment that we're not going to be judgmental. We're not going to be, we're going to respect the place where somebody is in their spiritual journey and just be part of a community where you can just say whatever it is that bothers you. And if what you say, if you want to tell us you don't like the church anymore and you don't like Joseph Smith and you never liked Joseph Smith, but that doesn't mean you don't believe in God anymore. Cool. You may find most of the people in that meeting are in a similar situation. The point here is not to convert you to the Church of Korihor. The point of the meeting is to give you opportunities to reach out and build friendships with people who are deconstructing like you are, because frankly, there needs to be a bit of a buddy system, okay, in deconstructing. Lots of us have done it alone, and I can tell you, it's a fairly lonely process. I like that because I am a loner and autistic, but not everybody is like that. In fact, I find most people are not like that. And I want to serve this community. I want to serve Mormons. That's right. I want to be your friend. I want to help you. I want to support you. And if you go back to church or stay in the church, I don't care. You still, you reinvigorate your love of Mormonism and of the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith. Okay. That's not the point. Okay. Because we don't win better non-mansions in the non-heaven we go to when we die because we made more Mormons into atheists. The point is not to convert anybody to atheism. The point is not to convert anybody to Korohorism. The point is to give you an opportunity to process in a place where it's safe to say anything. Now, this was all inspired. Oh, then let me explain how it goes. It's fairly simple. Take a slip of paper. You write down what your trauma is. On Sunday, I performed the first of these in my Godless sermon, in which I talked about the PTSD effects on my sleep from the trauma of being a missionary. I can show you some other ones that I know for a fact people intimate to the church, to me, to the Church of Korihor in my life, where I have seen these are the kinds of traumas that you might write down. One is freedom to express kindness. A lot of Mormons right now are all about shaming people for kindness culture. And a lot of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints feel very put out when people like Ward Radio, people like Jacob Hansen, people like these apologists and others label what they have always considered to be brotherly kindness and Christian love as quote-unquote kindness culture and shame them for it. That can be very traumatizing to people. I'll give you another one. Another one that's very common among Mormons that now, who knows how people are processing it, is so-called, okay, everybody who's ever worn garments or knows people who have worn garments knows you're never supposed, if you're a woman, you never, ever, 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 ever show those dirty, filthy shoulders. That now the garment has been modified so that momfluencers on Instagram can do it if they want to. So, and now they're doing it all over the place, and the church isn't controlling the messaging as far as I have seen, which means basically the church has decided not that women should feel entitled to show their shoulders, but that skinny women should show their skinny shoulders on Instagram. I don't know. I'm just saying, let's see some more shoulders out there than just momfluencers on Instagram. Let's everybody take to Instagram and show your porn shoulders. Let's go. You know, get on your Facebook. You don't have to tag the Church of Korihor in it if you don't want to. Just get out there and show it and say, you know what? I got shoulders. I've had shoulders right here behind this wheel all along. In any event, other things. I've talked before about how at calm meetings, as community after leaving Mormonism meetings here in Utah, which inspired this ritual, I can't tell you how many people I met who, in a room full of people you just barely met, how many women talk about their underwear, that they've never worn a bra that was comfortable in their lives, that fit in their lives. Come to learn from my wife, and talking to some other people, women who are generous. A lot of women are very trusting of me, and I make sure that I have that trust before I go to raising conversations like this. That I find if I simply say, they say most women find that they don't have any bras they actually like. And almost every woman I have raised that conversation with whom I have any trust will candidly say, I've had this conversation with people I just met on an airplane, and they want to share. They want someone to share with. And will say, who will say, I have never in my life had a bra that I really liked and that felt comfortable and supportive. And women will say, and usually what women will say is, no woman does. Turns out that's not entirely true. It's just so many of you that hardly anybody knows one with whom they have enough trust and candor to be able to say, hey, do you happen to like your bra? But in these meetings, in these calm meetings, we frequently would have women who would say, I want to just go to Victoria's Secret and get something cute, something supportive, but I've worn garments for 10, 20, 30 years. And that whole time, I've had to wear garment tops under my bra. And now I don't know how to do it. I don't know how. I'm too ashamed and too embarrassed because I don't know how to just go and buy a bra that I'm going to wear on my flesh, on God's original garment known as skin. And then these women oftentimes would say, it's always going to happen with women they just met. You and I are going to go to Victoria's Secret. We're going to go buy, and then somebody will come and say, you don't go to Victoria's Secret if you're serious about bras. You go to Torrid or whatever. And so then the next thing you know, this meeting, which was about deconstructing your trauma, has now become shopping raids, shopping sprees of deconstructing Mormon ladies who are in support of each other, going out and buying bras and actually putting in the effort to get something that they actually like, right? And so similarly, I have seen in these calm meetings somebody who came out of the closet. It happened more than once at meetings I went to. Said, I've known I was gay for years. I can't talk to anybody about it. And they find somebody there, not usually someone who is, a hookup or anything. So don't go thinking it's anything like that. Somebody who says, my brother is gay. And I was the first person he came out to. I'm a safe person you can talk to. Let me give you my number. I can't tell you how many of these calm meetings I went to where somebody who was really depressed and talked about serious ideation and depression. And I turned to them and said, I know you feel really alone right now, because usually after somebody presents in calm meetings, there's a little discussion time. And if you feel motivated to do it, you would turn and say to somebody, I'm going to support you. And I gave my personal phone number to more than one person and said, when you are upset, when you are in a spiral, text me if you feel alone. I'm here. I may not be responsive because I got work over here and I'm raising 3 kids and I'm, doing my art over here and I'm doing, all this. The Church of Korihor didn't exist when I used to go to these meetings. I'm your friend. I'm here to support you. Once you have your trauma written down, and you state to the community, and this is the healing part. You say, this is my trauma about my porn shoulders. I've wanted all my life to be able to show my shoulders, and all my life I haven't been able to because long before I wore garments, I was shamed for having shoulders, and it's stupid. And I'm not going to allow it to have control over me anymore. I'm not going to feel guilt and shame over tank tops. I'm not going to feel guilt and shame over spaghetti straps. I'm not going to do it anymore. And then you take your slip of paper and you destroy it. And you can put it into the flames, or you can rip it up and destroy it if you don't like fire. You can crumple it up into a ball and swallow it for all I care. The point is not how you destroy your trauma. The point is that you're doing it and committing out loud to it in front of a community of people who are there to witness it, and where you have come to that meeting to witness it, to witness their trauma and to witness the dissolution of that trauma. These are the meetings we're going to start holding on Saturday evenings until we decide that that's not the right time of day or the right day or time. And then we'll schedule them another time. I am very excited about Reclaim. Reclaim is going to be an opportunity for people who are not necessarily interested in the Church of Korihor. That's fine. But where we in the Church of Korihor are going to fulfill our mission, our creed, that we transform painful lives into lives worth living. I'm going to give us a closing hymn. We didn't have anybody hop up into the box, which is okay. After that, we're going to linger longer right here in the same video. But I want to say to you people in the future especially, please go to korihor.org. It's spelled exactly the way it sounds, the dumbest way you could. If you think about, if you were Joseph Smith and you were going to spell Korihor the dumbest way possible, that's how you do it. You go to korihor.org and hit reclaim, or go to korihor.org/reclaim. Reclaim your life. Reclaim your future. From Mormonism, yes, and from any other high control group. And believe you me, we have no intentions of excluding anyone. Very soon, I believe by the end of this year, we will have reclaim meetings for Jehovah's Witnesses. We will have reclaim meetings for Seventh-day Adventists. We will have reclaim meetings for Scientologists. We're coming for you, buddy boy. And we're coming for Greek Orthodox people and other Orthodox people. We're coming for you evangelicals. We are going to provide a safe space where people who are Muslim can talk about deconstructing Islam. We are creating a safe space where people who will be able to deconstruct MAGA will be able to deconstruct and recover from the trauma of that cult. We are making communities where we will serve people who believe in God every day. We want you God believers to heal. We godless people, we won't preach atheism to you. We will be here. We will be here to support you through your deconstruction. I promise you that. Amen. We're going to linger longer here, right here in this room. And you'll get to see how wild and crazy our linger longers are, those of you who have not seen it before. First, I want to share with you one of our most healing hymns at the Church of Korihor, and that is a good one for Mormons who like to deconstruct body and sex shaming issues, and that is Lick My Cupcake.
Gum stuck to my shoe, heavy petting in the neon hue, cracked vase on the kitchen floor. I get what I want, then I want more. Soaking in the bathtub fizz, the way you look at me is a quiz. Hair teased high like a wild storm, don't dig in. Ripped tights and a leather jacket. Got a secret, can you hack it? Lights blur as we drive fast. Make this moment last and last. Pink lipstick on your collar screen. We make a pretty reckless team. 80s music in the air. Nobody else can compare. Lick my cupcake, sweet sensation. It's a sugar-coated invitation. Don't you know it's such a sin when you don't dig in? When you don't dig in.
Woo! Fired up. Ready to go. You guys know that I love you. You guys see this? I got to show you the background because I haven't shown it already. I mean, my AI game on the AI generated images and or Photoshop has really gotten to a new level, you guys. I mean, I mean, the AI does some heavy lifting, but I mean, a lot of it is just frankly just me. I'm amazing at that, and that's without glasses. We are finally in receipt of a client paycheck, and your man can order new glasses. So in 1 month, I will see all your comments. Just kidding. I can see them tonight, which is better than last week, where our whole service was me getting smashed with AT Chick, who phoned in from Canada. Canada. She's an American pretending to be a Canuck up there, and we got hammered. And then I took it down because we don't need Ward Radio finding that. We don't need Jacob Hansen finding that. We don't need no Mormons saying, you see how these whores are wicked. These whores are not wicked. These whores, we are wicked. We drink and be merry. I got to tell you should I tell you some toxic things? Let's throw in toxic if you want toxic. Non-toxic if you want to maintain the delusion that the first herald of the Church of Horror doesn't do toxic things. I do some. I did some today. I ain't ashamed. I ain't going to do it unless you want it. I ain't going to share. But I did something pretty toxic today. I ain't perfect. I'm a whore. Core whore. I had posted, speaking of toxic, I had posted on Facebook today. I wore the lumberjack shirt and gray sweatpants and got eyeball love from absolutely nobody. The internet is a liar. I had it on good authority that all the ladies like a man in gray sweatpants who will be a lumberjack when they need wood. And it was a lie. It was all a lie. Either that or, as I have been reported in the past, I am completely oblivious when women are looking at me. Nah. Autism. Gotta show you guys some cool things that my flesh and blood and chosen family sister brought to me just yesterday. My sister, Nikki, some of you know and have seen on our show. She does merchandise with like laser cutters and 3D printers and stuff. And we are getting like a whole bunch of cool things for the Church of Horror that you'll be able to purchase to have around the house. Show your pride. We're going to have bumper stickers. We have posters on the way. We have jewelry on the way. We got all kinds of things. But she brought me these kind of hangers here. One says "Straight out of Mormonism." Get my death row on. There's a lot of these. We may not have time to get through them all, you guys. This one says Bible. Oh, and on the back of each of these, there's a Korihor sigil burnt right into it. How cool is that? And it says an ancient Bible, noun, an ancient novel full of murder, corruption, homophobia, bestiality, incest, and cruelty is often read to children on Sunday. I didn't inspire any of these. These are my wicked sister. I was going to insert my little whore joke, but even I am not that. Even I haven't gotten to that place yet. Mormonism, 1 star out of 5. Very bad. Would not recommend. Just for you people reclaiming Mormonism here. This one I thought was pretty clever. Some of these, my nieces and nephews. I have a trans niece, I don't know if you guys know, who is the reason why you know she's actually kind of famous. Her name is Casey. And she's also a graphic designer. And so we'll be seeing some of her designs. I'm not sure I'll know all of them. Atheism is myth understood. Wah, wah. Very clever. Again, I wrote none of these. Classic. I'm sorry for the things I said when I was Mormon. I am in receipt of all of these things because I'm supposed to photograph them and put them into the store. Yeah. So yeah, that's mainly it. So yeah, a bunch of these little hangers, like door hangers and stuff. And then we have some other things. Let's see here. Oh yeah, here are little labels for the Church of Korihor. These are. Oh, I guess these are these stickers? Yeah, these are these are like little note cards. That just say the Church of Korihor. Litter the world with these. And then it got little Korihor sigils. These ones I think are stickers. We definitely are going to have Korihor sigil stickers. We're going to have some that are cut out to the actual shape. That'll be transparent. So you stick them like in a window of your car and stuff. I don't know if Nikki got to those yet. But yeah, so a bunch of printed objects. We're also going to have, these are cool. Ladies and or sundry persons who have earlobes. Do you have earlobes? Okay. Do you have holes in your earlobes from whence to hang jewelry? Our first jewelry has arrived for people who like to hang things from their earlobes and are a little bit kind of hoop earring people. You hoop earring people are out there. Jules, you're out there, right? Hey, T-Chick is here. Hey. Boy, I just did this morning a recording on Lori Vallow's trial with Beth Magnetic for her channel. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. Bum, bum. Korihor sigil Coaz earrings. Ba-bam. Nikki asked me if that's the right size. I'm like, how the hell would I know? So stuff like this. That'd be cool. I'm really excited. I've been talking with my son. Those of you who don't know, I have a beautiful trans boy named Elijah. You guys saw him in the video at the beginning. And Elijah is an artist and a creator. And he definitely wants to work for the Church of Korihor. He doesn't even care if he doesn't get paid. So that's good news. For now, anyways. Because he wants to be, he wants to make swag. He wants to do this kind of stuff, and he likes to design things. And he's a great designer. He makes incredible designs. Magnets with the Korihor sigil on them. Boom. But yeah, remember we were talking before about the about getting some about making some paracord bracelets, something that's like emergency useful. And I think it was Jules, wasn't it? Jules who came up with this idea that we should have like medical ID bracelet tags on them, like maybe DNR bracelet, tags and things, or like diabetic or you guys know the things, right? And put those in and implement those. So maybe on one side you got like maybe they all loop together around on a quarter-horse sigil, and now you have paracord, just in case the apocalypse comes, in case we're all wrong, the Mormons are right, and we have to survive the rapture, or not. Okay, so just the beginning of those swags. Let me show you some printed items I haven't looked at yet. Maybe some of them will be dirty. I don't know. Some of them are my oldest child, Scarlett, is an artist who makes adorable things and is terrified that nobody will like them. And I'm just going to show you some of these as I come up with them, if I recognize them all. I'm pretty sure I recognize my daughter's art. But I know that my sister printed some of them out. She's terrified that nobody will like them. Some of these will be designs by my nephew, Nikki's boy. Michael. I don't think Spencer does any of this. Maybe he does. I don't know. But yeah, this is cool. Oh, this is I think this is Michael. This on his art. Will be available. It's kind of fun. This is Michael J. Hansen, I think is his signature there. This is the first time I'm seeing his art. I knew that he made art. I feel like a terrible uncle, but I haven't ever looked at. I mean, I've seen little things that my sister sends me once in a while, but but these are pretty dope. There's another one. Yeah, that's a good point, Jules. You know that stuff better than I do. I mean, you're in charge of educating me on the DNR stuff. I know that usually it depends. I think it varies from state to state. Like, aren't there still some states that just don't honor it at all? Probably Utah, frankly. I used to think, I used to think that was just like passive ideation until I saw a video where it's like people think that this is just about people who want to end their lives. Just don't understand. Sorry for eating in front of you guys. I don't know. I'm an asshole. Just don't know the hell some people live through with broken ribs, punctured organs, all kinds of bad things as a result from CPR. And I took that one video for me to go, oh, I'm getting one. And I still haven't done it. So, cool stuff. Artwork from my beautiful daughter, born 18 years ago this last December. I cannot believe that somebody thinks that my Scarlett is an adult. Fuck you. Crawl off into a hole. She will live here with daddy forever. Okay. That sounds bad. Anyway, this is my very talented daughter. Her art that she worries people won't actually like. This is one of her famous horoscope characters cards where she has drawn every horoscope in her own unique character style. Every single horoscope sign. And if you look really closely at them, you'll see in the corner, in little white line, she has drawn the actual symbol for each sign. And behind each of them, all of them are girls. All of them are sassy. It's like if Bratz dolls were more emo and existential, autistic, and ex-Mormon. They'd be my Scarlett's little characters. So let's see, got a bunch of those. I think that's pretty much everything that we have on hand right now. Yeah. And then I'll probably put some of my, some poster arts of some of my paintings in there in case people want to order those and so on and so forth. Cool. That's cool, AT Chick. Well, my Scarlet is Sagittarius. Pretty sure. Molly is Sagittarius, and they're 1 day apart. Scarlet was born on the 17th. Molly was born on the 16th of December. And that's why I stupidly said of a girl that I started dating, a woman I started dating a few years ago, whose birthday is Christmas. And I said, "Oh, so you're Sagittarius?" And she goes, "No, Capricorn." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I knew that. Life of Brian." And she's like, "What?" Like, the life of Monty Python's The Life of Brian. What is this that you're talking about? She's like, I'm like, "Oh my God, are you kidding, man?" You guys don't know. In Monty Python's Life of Brian, you guys know Monty Python. Monty Python's The Life of Brian. Monty Python's Life of Brian is kind of a spoof on the life of Jesus. And it was banned in England not long after it came out, where it was made. I think they actually made it in Tunisia or something, or Greece, I think. I don't remember, but it was. But of course, Monty Python are from England, and they got banned in England because they were mocking God. But it wasn't. They treat Jesus very respectfully in the film. But basically, The Life of Brian is about Brian, who's born in the manger next door to Jesus. And the three wise men are on their way to Jesus. And of course, it's hard to tell from the line of the star, which manger it is. So they end up going into this one manger. And this woman is sleeping next to a woman played by Eric Idle. Yeah, played by Eric Idle. No. Who plays Brian's mom? I forget. I think is it Eric Idle? No, it's not Graham Chapman. It's the other guy. Anyway, she is sleeping next to Jesus, and they wake her, and and they're like, "We are three wise men." What? We are three wise men. I just go sneaking up on ladies in the middle of the night. I don't know what's wise about that. And they're like, "No, we have come from the east." I don't care where you come from. And they're like, "We have come to praise the infant." You what? And just like they do this whole thing. And then when she finds out that they have brought gold and frankincense and myrrh, she's like, "Why didn't you say so? He's right over there." And they go, "Oh, what is the infant's name?" "Brian." "We worship you, O Brian. Thou art Lord over us all. God bless you, and God bless your Father, the God of heaven." Something like that. And she's like, "Oh, so you're wise men, eh? Astrologers, eh? What star sign is he?" "What? What star sign is he?" "Capricorn." "Oh, what are they like?" "He is the Messiah. He is King of the Jews. He is the Son of God, come to be King over us all." "Oh, that's Capricorn then, is it? All right." No, that's just him." "Oh, what is frankincense anyway?" "Oh, no. Yeah, what is myrrh anyway?" It is a balm." "A balm? What are you giving him a balm for?" No, it is an ointment." "Wow." It is really good. Hey, Hyde is here. Hyde, I have to talk to you. And I somehow either don't have your number. I don't know how that's possible. Did we message on Messenger? Or anyways, I don't know, Hyde, if you know my friend Dave, Diamond Dave. He is moving out of town next week. And he has a slew of tabletop gaming stuff that he doesn't just want to sell or give or like, give away to just anybody. He offered it to me, and I don't play. But he's got a bunch of Magic the Gathering, and he's got like a tabletop set he described to me. I think like D&D stuff, and he's moving to Mongolia next week, and I'm like, I could take them off your hands because I know you guys were here when we talked about this, but we're talking about possibly. I've actually been fielding this out to a few people, and there are some biters, there's some takers here. It's not for the wider community of Korra Horse. Yeah. So we're looking at maybe doing like gaming events, like tournaments, like Magic the Gathering tournaments, D&D, Warhammer, stuff like this. Every gaming person I mention this to, even the guy I used to work with over here at the gas station, I'm like, hey, Chance, you play RPGs, don't you? He's like, when I can, but after 2020 with the big C, nobody gets together anymore, and the whole community's come apart. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, Hyde. That's kind of the way everybody's feeling these days. Is that it's been difficult to move into mainly an all online space. That if you don't have connections into these communities, I say we put some resources into it, figure it out, and start using basically the same model of Reclaim. Let's start putting together some groups to do online games, and then other things. He was telling me, Hyde, maybe he said that either it was at the Provo Mall or at University Mall. You can pay a dungeon master for like $5 an hour, and I'm like, or $5 a game or whatever. And I'm like, oh, hopefully he makes a lot in tips or something. He's like, well, the gaming den covers the rest of the cost. I'm like, is it at the Provo Mall? And I'm like, because those are the guys we're talking about maybe arranging some events with. And he's like, yeah, the Provo Mall. I don't remember what he said, actually. I was a little bit drunk. Anyway, no, I wasn't. That was in the morning. After our cocktail hour, AT Chick, last week, I went upstairs. I managed upstairs. And asked Molly to go to the store and to go to the gas station, get me some water because I'm out of bottled waters. I said, and she was like, "No." All right, whatever. Not willing to start a thing about it. So I walked to the store, to the gas station. Walked is a word that's doing a lot of work there. You guys remember me, right? From last week. Yeah. I was fortunate that none of American Fork's finest discovered me on that walk. Walk of shame. Oh, no, I was not drunk the next morning. I was not hungover at all because I drank a ton of water at the gas station where I saw Chance, and his sister was there, and he's talking to her, and I had to apologize to her probably 2 or 3 times. I met her. She's a delightful young person from what I can remember. And I'm like, are you touching me? Because she was always touching my elbow or it just seemed to be anyways. And I'm like, am I falling over? Is that what's happening? Because like when I'm drunk, I sometimes think people are just suddenly handsy with me. And what it is that they're trying to keep me from falling on the floor. This has been a thing for me for like 20 plus years. Anyway, I'm like, why is everybody touching me? I will not be pawed at, sir. And then I heard about it. Of course, for the next few days, everybody worked at this gas station. I used to do graveyard shifts at was like laughing every time I came in the store. I'm like, did you guys hear something about me? And they're like, just about you coming into the store, one of these drunkards in the middle of the night. I'm like, because nobody's used to seeing me like that. I don't drink really. But that was one. Hey, I wanted to show you guys something. You guys remember our good friend Coach? Tomorrow he's got this broadcast in which he's going to have our friend Kendall on. Barring any conflicts of commitments, I found out this morning that I had been invited to be on this panel, and ducked out, and everybody was just being respectful. Well, I didn't even know that I had been invited, and I'm like, is this something I should have known? And anyways, point is, Coach asked me again. He's like, "Are you sure you don't want to be on Thursday's show?" And I'm like, "You didn't invite me." And he's like, "I did." I'm like, "You did not." He's like, "I did." He's like, "You are first herald of the Church of Korihor. You didn't think my first guest was Kendall?" I don't know. I didn't say that part. That last part was a joke. Kendall, are you there? I love you, buddy. I'm just joking around. But he asked me, do we get any votes for toxic? This is the toxic conversation. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Never mind. He asked me, what would I, if you were the devil and you were going to stop the church and you were going to destroy the church, the Mormon church, what would you do? And I said, and he laughed, and that was good, because that could have been either you laugh or you don't laugh. I said, look, everyone would be happy, everyone would be damned, and nobody'd give a shit. So, yeah, I still stand by that answer. But then I said, okay, serious answer, I would invent the internet. I said, with or without Al Gore. Luckily, Al Gore is on our team. So, yeah, I'll be on there tomorrow. Unless I'm not. You weren't here yet, AT Chick. We had such a good time. Should we bring back the cocktail hour? Maybe we'll bring that back in the future. Al Gore's isn't Al Gore from North Carolina? He's a Dixiecrat, right? I said that. I said that about the Al Gore thing to Kulch, and I said, that is a straight up 90s joke right there. You had to have been an adult at some point in the 90s to even get that anywhere in the remotest. That's cool, Jules. 100 cannabis sodas. What kind of country is this that you're in? Don't they grow their own? I don't have the money for habits like that. I live in America. My fridge is stocked right now with Bud Light. I hate Bud Light. So it helps to keep me from developing a drinking habit. When I met Molly, she'd never tasted beer. She never tasted alcohol in her life. She moved in with me. Very soon was sipping, crazy stuff that she had no idea could be like this. And it was like Mike's Hard Lemonade and what's the other one? It was wine coolers, maybe, mainly, or lagers, flavored lagers. She tried beer, and like all of us Exmos said, "Ugh, I'll never drink that. Never developed the taste for that." Then she started dating when we became polyam. She started dating lesbians out here. And I say lesbians, I mean women who are strictly interested in women. And you say, Joe, did those lesbians really not mind that they were dating a woman who was married to a man? They did. They very much did. And they all drink Bud Light out here. Is this just a thing I didn't know? Lesbians just drink Bud Light, like they like Bud Light. I have an aunt who's a lesbian. I've known all my life. I've never known that woman to drink Bud Light once. Has a Subaru. Has rescued dogs. Was married for 20 something years before her partner passed away. Her wife passed away. Lesbian. Never saw this woman with a Bud Light in her hand once in my life. Never once. Is that like a thing? But now I have Bud Light in my house all the time because lesbians. What is my life? What is my life? It's weird. I would have only, well, let's see. I'd have Guinness, Pabst Blue Ribbon sometimes if I really feel like going, blue collar. Or Wasatch beers. I like the apricot one. Anyways, they might be at this point. I mean, I know this was before that whole Bud Light controversy with this about the stupid thing with the pride flag. You know, here in Utah, they literally just passed a law saying that you can't fly a pride flag on a government building or have it in a government building, meaning schools especially. And it's like, really? Our governor, the governor here, the Mormon Republican governor right here. Okay, Jules, we'll be here for a bit. But it's good to see you. Lovely to see you, Jules, if we don't see you again. Our governor just made an appeal to the legislature here in Utah to stop creating crimes. He said, you guys are adding every day more regulations to the books to make more things that the police can charge people with. And they are. They're making like felonies. I don't remember this exactly. It was like a class A misdemeanor or like a felony, like a second degree felony or something. Now, I think it's like a class A misdemeanor. If you don't pull all the way over when the police pull you over on the side of the road, shit like that. And they're just like coming up with things to just arrest you for. And they're just coming up with they're writing into our laws here in Utah, all kinds of laws to just basically give the police any reason to arrest anybody, throw the book at them, and give them minimum mandatory sentencing. And I'm sure, and our governor has reached out to them, has publicly stated, please stop doing this. I know you think it's fun. I know you think you're fighting crime. I know you think you're extra righteous. This is a Mormon guy. And he's saying we do not have the facilities to support this, and we can't have that many of our taxpayers just getting arrested and thrown into prison and getting thrown into jail. This is all just to feed. Anyways, we're not going to talk politics, but just to say, here in Utah, it's getting crazy. Here's the funny thing about it, though. I took down all my Tim Ballard content from Hellfire Agency from the YouTube channel. Some people have pointed out to me, have said, I don't buy for a second that this is about a rebrand, Joe, for Hellfire Agency. They're like, that Tim Ballard is suing people with impunity, and he's never going to be held to account for his. And I said, that's exactly what's going on. Now that Tim Ballard is with the regime, he's above the law. And it's just wild to me. Just wild. So who knows? Maybe Lori Daybell will get herself a pardon. Who knows? I guess she's only committed state crimes at this point, right? So maybe she can't be. Yeah. I tell you, I was talking. Hey, it's Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave. Scroll up. You will find Hide. Hide. Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave. Hide. Be friends. Anyways. Diamond Dave, Diamond Dave, the 16th you were flying out to Mongolia, is that right? Diamond Dave is following his dream. I didn't know this till I talked to him, but getting married. Diamond Dave. 14th. Oh shoot, we gotta get together soon. So we gotta get together and have ourselves a little beersy wearsy. You guys can you can have an O'Doul's or something. I don't know if Hyde drinks it. Hyde, do you drink the boozies? I'll be the only one. You guys carry my ass home. Speak of the devil, devil appears. Hi, Jules. Just kidding. Bachelor party. That does sound good. We should have a geek bachelor party. We'll just like play D&D, World of Warcraft or something. I can't play video games for shit. I'm the world's worst dude. Dope. They do get handsy with me when I'm drinking. All these people want me, men, women, and they say they lean into me when I'm drunk. They put their hands on me here. They put hands on me here. I've been working out. You guys know I've been doing my 130s. Ooh, 130. Boom, boom. And I say, oh, you like that? You like that? And then they say sexy things like, you stupid drunk bastard, I'm trying to keep your ass off the floor. I know you are, girl. I hardly ever drink. But then they do. They put their hands on me, say sexy things like, get off the floor. Molly says I'm not funny. Now we're getting separated. I'm just saying that much. There were signs. Just teasing. Well, stories are true, except for that. Those things are not correlated. But my wife thinks I'm not funny. Team. I missed the joke. But yeah, Diamond Dave, you're going to have... I don't think that they probably don't do... Do they do bachelor parties in Mongolia, Diamond Dave? I don't know if I'm terrified. I don't know if I think I'm terrified of any ideas of Muslims partying and bachelor party. I don't know if I'm terrified because of how unwild it would be, or terrified of how wild it would be. About the tea? My joke? I'm so funny. I don't even remember all my punchlines. I'm just saying. Okay. Hey, we got Diamond Dave on stage. Hold on. Let's pull Diamond Dave up here. What's up, my friend?
What up, dude?
Salutations from Utah County, where you still are.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard you talking about me as I went to use the bathroom. I'm just catching up on all the comments.
You heard me talking about how you're giving away all your Prime gaming stuff?
Yeah, I'm giving away Magic the Gathering cards. It's like 6 or 7 World of Darkness tabletop RPG books, like actual hardcover books for running it. 2 small table stand microphones that still work. I think I also got like a gaming keyboard that's older, but it still works. Lights up blue. It's a Razer. Trying to give that away before I leave on Monday.
We should get together maybe on Saturday or something. I'm going down to see a friend on Saturday.
Well, I'm inviting a bunch of people to like me, my roommate, and a couple people from his YSA might meet us at Black Cats for bowling when he's done with work. So it's going to be like a bowling party, unofficial bowling thing.
Black Cats, do they have beer there?
No, it's Provo, dude.
Yeah, I figured. Provo's such a cute little town, but it's hard to get a drink there. I mean, they're down to basically one bar as far as I know there. It's just basically ABGs at this point, as far as I can tell.
I didn't even know they had a bar, honestly.
In Provo?
Yeah.
Half the time I go to Provo, it's the only thing is the only reason I go to Provo is to go to ABGs, which is the only decent dive bar in Utah County, frankly. So, but when I do drink, I often drink at ABGs just because I started dating a person who lived in Provo back in my Tinder days. And we would basically, that was us every Tuesday, go down to ABGs, decent burgers, decent wings, and then, reasonably priced booze, which was shocking because the other restaurant, Time City Limits, which is now closed, they were charging like, I think I paid like $8 or $9 for like a bottled beer there once. It was like insane. So anyway, they're out of business now.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun adventure. I'm catching a lot of heat from some places, but that's okay. You gotta love it.
Cool beans. Yeah, Hyde was like a champion Magic the Gathering player, and did a lot of that tournament stuff. So
yeah, I used to know a guy in Minnesota many years ago. He went by the name Sal. He's got like 6 Black Lotuses. Was a competitive Magic tournament player. Yeah, it's a thing.
It is. But we were talking a little earlier about a lot of people I know who are into the tabletop world are not, or into the card world. They're feeling pretty lonely ever since 2020, and because a lot of these groups, they didn't transition to going online and playing online, and so a lot of groups just dissipated. So it's an opportunity for us to serve another community and say, let's get these. Now, a lot of people who play tabletop are neurodivergent. That's a big part of our core audience. A lot of them are atheists, so that's another part of our core audience. And that's a service I think we can hook up is, doing online and in-person tournaments for gaming. I think it'd be fun.
No. Or tabletop RPGs, Dungeons and Dragons, World of Darkness. I like World of Darkness because it's a D10 system, 10-sided dice. It's very simple to make a character, and you can use different genres in it. So instead of doing the werewolves, vampires, and mages, I did a Fallout 4, like a Fallout video game series, campaign. I've done Star Trek, I've done Star Wars, so it can apply to anything, really.
Fun. What's it called again?
World of Darkness.
Okay. I thought I said Hearts of Darkness.
No, World of Darkness, yeah.
World of Darkness.
It's
fun.
It's basically, if you guys have ever seen I can't remember the name of it. It's modern day vampires versus Lycans. Selene is a main character. I'm gonna Google this so I know what I'm talking about.
I'm looking at it now, and they do Discord because that's the thing is that Joey, one of our people, he is one of our contributors. He's set up a Discord server for us to do some of these reclaim meetings, and we were going to launch with that. We decided to just do Zoom for now. But Discord, I think, is going to be a big part of our future, and I think maybe Twitch is Twitch still a thing? Do people still do Twitch?
Twitch is very, very much a thing. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really a meeting place so much, right? Right, but we could probably play games like this on Twitch, couldn't we?
So what it is you could stream it. Like
Right.
if you're playing, like if we're all in a Discord, we can have our screens up and people can watch us play, but the chatters won't be able to participate unless you do a lot of coding and like channel point stuff for them to like be able to participate.
But you can skin these games. Is that what you're saying? So that you can make like your own versions of them, make it like Star Trek or Star Wars themed.
Yeah, well, World of Darkness you can, because the character sheet is very simple. It's got very basic attributes. And it's very easy to learn compared to Dungeons and Dragons, because World of Darkness is more lore based, and it's based on like intrigue and storytelling as opposed to the math and the dungeon running.
Wow, okay.
So it's very easy to learn. I've taught people who have never played any of these games in their life. They made a character sheet in under 5 minutes, because at the top of the character sheet, it tells you exactly what to do. And then you just play.
That's awesome, man. You know, I when I was a kid, I thought I would get into RPG gaming a lot. You know, back in when Dungeons and Dragons had transitioned into the first rounds of really highly commercialized games, and didn't get into it because Mormon kid, and in the church at that time we had more than once been warned that the devil will get into your soul if you play these RPG games. That's what happened with the What's Their Bucket brothers. It was pretty lame. So I never got into it. But I knew I had Mormon friends who would get into it. They'd say, "Oh, Joe, you don't lose your soul." And I'm like, "I know, but I just can't afford it. I'm going on a mission."
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to play Magic the Gathering in high school for the same reason. And like when I was like a sophomore, it was like a sophomore freshman year, I had to fight my mom, tooth and nail to let me play Pokemon cards because of, the demons battling each other. But she kind of caved on that, because it's when she actually looked at it, it's like, okay, this is just like random battle monsters as opposed to like quote unquote demonic looking art. So,
yeah, my mom's generation, they were the generation where you still couldn't play face cards. I still met even people in my generation whose parents told them, face cards are the devil.
Yeah, well, I know, I've encountered a few people younger than me in Provo who don't play like with any playing cards at all, which I've heard. I don't know, and maybe you can clarify this for me. I don't know why playing cards are not allowed. But I do know that playing cards, the 52 cards that we use today, actually originate from tarot cards. They are the minor arcana of tarot cards.
Right.
That is my guess.
Right. The way it was always phrased to me, and I want to say that there is a passage in Mormon doctrine where Bruce R. McConkie talks about this, about face cards. But it was always commonly held, and people out there can clarify if they heard something different, that there was some occult origin to face cards, and that was part of the reason why they drew people to gambling and to gambling addiction, was because the devil had them. And so that's what I was always told.
Oh, okay, because I do know, like, historically, factually, the 52 playing cards that we use are a secular knockoff of the minor arcana of tarot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. So you've got the 4 suits. Spades is equivalent of swords in tarot. Hearts are cups. Clubs are pentacles, and diamonds are wands. And then you've got the jacks, the queens, and the kings, and the jokers, right? So the jacks are the like princes, basically. and that, or the pages, and then you've got the queens, the kings, and then the jokers, I believe, would fall under the knights.
Interesting.
There's your fun fact for today, folks.
There you go. I haven't heard of just number cards, AT Chick. Isn't that just Uno?
Yeah, no, Uno.
I use cards all the time to talk about probability math when on the rare occasion anybody wants to hear me talk about probability math. But yeah, let's see. Yeah. So card games were out. Tarot cards were definitely out. Then come to find out, and my wife has been into tarot cards since she was a Mormon girl, and always ashamed about it. And then but then like she told me, she's like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my sisters this weekend. This is like 10 years ago, before JoJo was born. And I'm like, you're going to go hang out with your sisters where? Because they live down in Arizona. And she's like, oh, we decided to just have a girls' weekend in Las Vegas. And I was like, what are you and your Mormon sisters going to do in Vegas? And she's like, we'll probably go to a strip club. I'm like, really? I'm like, I support it. I endorse it. And I'm like, go have fun. And then she's like, but they'll probably spend most of the time gambling. I was like, are you serious? See, in the Mormon household I grew up in, this apparently is a divided thing. I didn't know until I was married. Apparently, some Mormons don't think gambling is a sin. I was stunned. I mean, I was raised to believe that gambling was a vile sin.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that there were families who didn't think gambling was a sin. I have met people where it's frowned upon because it's a sin, but it's like one of those things where it's like it's a really like it's not a sin in the context of necessarily an abomination to God. It's more of a sin by the definition, the medieval definition. It's missing the mark. It's missing the mark of what God wants us to do with our money, and so that's that's why we don't do it. But I've never heard of a Mormon family or any Mormon just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to a strip club in Vegas and then we're gonna go gambling. Like that's not.
The strip club was definitely a sin, but they are definitely fringe dwellers, but they're good people.
I have sorry to cut you off. I have a question on that because I know people can be excommunicated for adultery. If a married man or married person, let's say, goes to a strip club and they're busted, is that considered a form of adultery? And if so, would the logical point, would they be excommunicated for that? Could they?
Frankly, it's priesthood roulette at that point, but yes, it's very plausible that something like that.
Okay.
But I would highly doubt it in most cases, just because most bishops aren't going to do anything to risk losing good tithe payers if they don't absolutely have to. Yeah, apparently. I mean, I know that Molly stopped and she sent me pictures of her and her sisters posing with the guys from the Thunder Down Under.
I've heard of them.
Right. And I'm like, what was that like, Molly? Because she's one of these women who always says, I don't know, I don't like muscles. I don't like men who are too skinny. And it's like, okay, you don't have to be sensitive about my feelings. And she's like, no, I don't like it. She's like, I don't know. Once I posed with some of those Australian guys and heard their accent, I didn't think it was so bad. And I'm like, and she said, but they were really rude. And I was like, why? And she's like, as soon as we took a picture with them, they were like, do you have a tip for us? And they're like, and then she's like, we were apparently supposed to pay them for it. I'm like, yeah. Do you think
that is how the adult industry works. Yes. If you want pictures with strippers, you pay money. Yes. That is a commonly known fact.
Right. And she's like, we're like, well, I'm sorry, we don't have any money on us. And it's like, you're going out gambling, you don't have any money on you. And they're like, no, we lost all the casino. I don't know if that's all casino or not, but they didn't have any money on them. Oh, I've never heard that. If you have to pay celebrities if you want pictures with them. I've never. I guess. I've
Well,
heard
I mean that's kind of a common thing, really. I mean, that's the same with like cosplayers, right? That's the same with like
okay.
cosplayers, because it's like they're taking time out of like, or if like a book signing, celebs and many cosplayers will charge because they're taking time out of their day that they could be acting or could be making money to
Right.
deal with you. So
Well, I knew that like if they go to like if like you go and pose with them at like the booth, usually you paid for that. That one I knew, but I didn't think like you were expected to tip somebody like on the street if you wanted a picture with them or something.
oh yeah, like there was actually a fiasco where Mark Hamill, beloved Luke Skywalker, was taking heat because he was going to set up a booth specifically to give signatures for $400 a pop. And
Really?
then and pictures were going to be more. And there was a little bit of a backlash in the Star Wars scene because people are like, we're common working people. We can't afford this.
It's expensive.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'd do it, but I had heard the thing I'd heard about Mark Hamill was that apparently at some meeting where they had like 5,000 people there, and like they had offered them like a one-time like deal to have some people buy in advance signed photograph by Mark Hamill, and like everybody at the thing, all these like 5,000, it was like 3,000, 5,000, something like that. Everybody bought it because they didn't cap it, and Mark Hamill stayed and signed every one of those photographs. And I was like, wow. I think it was because they were doing it for charity.
yeah.
And so, anyways, but yeah, which is cool. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's like wild if he's really was charging $400 a pop for that. I mean, but then I could definitely see why they start showing up to those Comic-Cons.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like my personal thing is, on the one hand, yeah, that is steep. On the other hand, it's Luke Skywalker from the 70s, right? Like, we're not talking about like Rachel Zegler who came out of nowhere and is like, yeah, $400. I mean, this is like someone internationally known. I can see that. I can see that.
Yep. Yeah, look, if I had the opportunity to do it, I'd do it. If I could get my picture taken with Mark Hamill, I think it's somewhat obscene how much I'd be willing to pay if I had the money, which I won't ever. But
yeah,
but I didn't know. I mean, I had heard that cosplayers do expect you to pay them if you pose with them, to tip them.
Yeah.
But that's like their whole livelihood. My son is dating a boy whose dad is a cosplayer.
Oh, interesting.
What? His dad is a cosplayer, and I met the guy. He was pretty cool. I don't know what kind of cosplay he does, but yeah.
Yeah, it's guys are moving into it more too. Sorry, I'm getting
I know that Utah.
My Red Note account is just exploding.
I don't even know what that is.
It's so when TikTok was banned or going to be banned or whatever, a bunch of Americans moved to Red Note, and I just never really got into TikTok, so I was just on Red Note. It's like it's just another Chinese TikTok style,
right?
And I post.
They say that Lemon 8 is owned by ByteDance, right? Is that like they're basically quietly moving people over there?
I honestly haven't heard of Lemonade. I don't know. I'm a bit leery of trying out new social media after my 3-week stint on Blue Sky. I did not. So I was in the Fundy Fridays Discord, and I did not realize that Blue Sky was a political landmine. I did not. My thinking was, okay, it's a new form of social media. I've got 117,000 followers internationally on Facebook. I'm on Red Note. Blue Sky is new, and if I hop on it now, I can be ahead of the curve and start building my following for my gaming and my brand and just me as an influencer, right?
Right.
Well, it turns out that I went on Blue Sky and I selected, fashion, gaming, and entertainment. And all it was, even in the gaming section, was people on the left complaining about Trump. Now,
Right.
that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's not why I'm there.
Right.
And it was getting botted by a bunch of right-wing persons or bots or both. And I'm just like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to deal with this. I'm not here for politics. If I'm here, if I select gaming or like fashion, that's what I want to see. I don't care about, I don't care about anything else. So I ended up hanging out on Red Note.
I hate X. I mean, Hyde said this in the comments about Blue Sky equals haters of X, and that's exactly right as far as I understand it. And I thought, that's definitely my audience. I definitely hate X, and so on and so forth. But I'm still on X because, frankly, I live for the drama. That's why I stir shit up.
I never had, and I mean, I personally take the time to tailor my algorithm, right? So like when I was on X, and I haven't been on in a while just because I'm busy, but when I was on X, I never saw anything political from the US at all. I saw gamers, a few international celebrities, some fashion stuff, the occasional OnlyFans girls, and then just a bunch of like cute memes from, people in Southeast Asia. And that was like it. I never saw anything remotely related to American news of any kind.
Interesting. I mean, I'm looking at Lemonade right now. So basically, as I understand it, Lemonade, it's made by ByteDance. Everybody's saying that like they're basically trying to migrate people there over before the sale of TikTok. And right now they're actually marketing it I'm looking at their website, and it says that they are powered by TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Powered by TikTok. So yeah, but my understanding from reading about it was basically they leaned even further into this, that it's basically a fusion of Temu, like TikTok Shop and influencer campaign. So it's like even more influencery than TikTok, which I'm not sure how that. I don't know why people want that. Who's trying to get in? Is it my JoJo?
But yeah,
the locked door. So yeah, but yeah, it was fun. I mean, I was saying that X is fun. I like to get my, I was trying to rouse the DesNat into like getting all up in my face, but I'm just too small potatoes for them to even give a shit about.
I don't even know if they like to what degree they actually exist. I'm starting
or at all.
Like, I think just in general, because I know that they used to, but now it seems to be like at least from my perspective, it seems to be like an urban legend almost. Like they were once a thing, and now that they're not. I've hung out in the Ward Radio side, and I'm involved in the Discord, and some of the most orthodox. Have a good night, Jules. Some of the most orthodox, hardline, conservative people there, they don't even know any. So so it's like, is it over? Is it done with? Are these just random people that use the hashtag DesNat and post stupid pictures online and disappear? Like, is that? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much they exist. I know that like some of the core leaders were like lost their jobs or got arrested and things like that back in the day, but that was a while ago. Yeah, now, and I thought, Kulch and I had a long conversation. Kulch is the one who knows all these people and had like conversations with them. Like, what isn't like Lego Joseph Smith still was like the big leader for a while or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, but long story short, they're still going after like Julie Hanks apparently. And so that's why apparently they're still relevant. So it's like, whatever. Well, my friend, let's message each other and talk about maybe we can get to. I'll head over there and hang out for a bit on Saturday, and I'll just go get drunk by myself ahead of time.
Sounds good. And then who is the guy? Is he in the chat?
Yeah, that's Hyde.
Oh, Hyde, message me on Facebook, Diamond Dave. Yeah, message me, because then I'll give you my info and you could just take whatever you want.
And Diamond
when
Dave
it comes to the gaming stuff, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I got an autistic boy who's scratching at my door, so I'm gonna bail. But hey, guys, thanks so much for coming out to service tonight. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about Reclaim. Remember, everybody can come and join. You don't have to be still deconstructing Mormonism to attend Reclaim this Saturday. You just go to corehort.org and click on Reclaim. Good to talk to you guys.
Have a good night.